But there is no problems here for Robert Thornton.
That's why 2-0.
Johnston's just been hit.
A whole lot would be even better. And that is a spectacular way, Justin Smith. Double 16, wow, what a way to win it. The Super Swede is already there, Andreas Harrison through to Saturday, but who will join him? We'll find out over the next couple of days. Good evening, welcome along to the Modus Super Series, where Group B is about to get underway. But before we preview that, myself and Matthew Edgar alongside me are going to have a little chat about Group C this afternoon. And for anyone that missed it, they missed something, or rather someone special, didn't they?
They really did. It was a fantastic performance from young Ryan, 16-year-old, a story we've heard before, and you never really know how people are going to acquit themselves when they come to something like this. But I think he actually stepped it up from what we've seen. And we see this quite a bit where people come, they've shown glimpses elsewhere, and when they come here, they've got the perfect stage, the perfect preparation, the perfect facilities. We nearly had the perfect leg from him as well. So I think he's going to be one to watch. All the games are available on the YouTube channel, and I urge people, if they haven't seen this lad yet, to go watch some of those highlights.
You've done the plug, so I don't have to. Yeah, they missed something special. He missed what would have been something special here. That's how close he gets with that treble 19 attempt. But he had some fantastic performances as well, didn't he? 104 average in there, won 4 out of his 5 matches. He looks like he might be on that stage on Saturday night.
Bottle. That was the thing. There were so many times people laid it down to him. There was a moment when it a 159 set finish. He takes out 106. He took out back-to-back 117 finishes, 180s at the right time. It wasn't just that he went up there and blew people away. He was challenged. People laid it down to him, and he just got better under that challenge. So I can't see him not making Saturday.
Yeah, that's Group C, which concludes tomorrow afternoon. And these are the players that are in all of the groups this week. In fact, Group A was won by Andreas Harrison. Over on the right-hand side of your screen there, Ryan Branley at the top of that list and Ross Montgomery at the bottom. They're tied at the top of the table. Dan Nichols just behind them, Jamie Kelling and Darren Barton just behind him. Dennis van der Ende didn't win a match for the 3rd straight day. But Group B tonight, and we've got Justin Smith and Mike Warburton, who ran Harrison very close in Group A, joined by Martin Adams, Tommy Morris and Robert Thornton. We'll start with him because very recently Robert Thornton got his first bit of success on that Super Series stage when he won Double Trouble.
And that could be really valuable. Now, the one thing I will say about that was a different format. Slightly shorter, best of 5, and also that extra rule of the double start. I did say that night that I felt that could be a real big advantage for Robert Thornton, just to come out the pattern of play of traditional 501. How does he get on coming back here? He'll be expecting to go through to Saturday. He normally does when he comes here. And can he now win a regular week and get himself through to Champions Week? That is the big carrot now that's dangling in front of him.
It's a tough group as well, isn't it, to get through? And we'll go through some of those players. Tommy Morris, a particularly tenacious type. A game between him and Robert Thornton just does get the sort of juices going a little bit. And I expect him to be a thorn in anybody's side, pardon the pun.
100%. And not only that game, but I also look forward to the game when he plays Justin Smith. I like sort of pacey players that get on with it who are also good. And these are 2 players that are pacey and good. I think we're going to get a real treat when those 2 go head-to-head. But this afternoon, I sort of flagged up Ryan as a bit of value before it all started. And I'm probably jumping the gun here before we talk about the odds. But I think Tommy Morris is going to be the outside shout tonight.
Another pun. He's outdoing me on the puns tonight. The gun there, Tommy Morris. What about Wolfie then, Martin Adams? Because he is an outsider along with Tommy, but nobody's got more experience and has won more than he has in this group.
And played as many games, but also got as much mileage. And I was watching him have a little practice on the stage before we came live, and it feels like he's not getting the reach on it. Now, it's a lot different in practice compared to when you play a game, but I'd really like to see him in the opening game before I make any sort of judgment, because it just felt like he was getting a little bit short with the darts.
So Matt thinks value perhaps in Tommy Morris when we look at the odds for this evening. He's a joint outsider with Martin Adams, but look how close it is between all of them. Then 10-3 for Robert Thornton and Mike Warburton. And the favourite, they've gone with Justin Smith, maybe reacting a little bit to how close he was to winning Group A.
I think if he was a genuine favourite, in this group at those sort of odds, I think he'd have won that Group A with the opportunities that presented itself in that group. So that would be my only sort of reservation with that. Tommy Morris for me, someone who's improving all the time, someone who's growing in character. He's letting his natural self come through. He's coming here today bouncing. He's got here early as well today. And he's coming here, the shoulders are back, the sway. He's been chatting to everybody. He feels at home here now. And certainly when we saw him in that influence event as well, we saw him really step up his levels here at the Super Series. We know he's got game. I think 5-1 is very big.
I'll tell you what there is in this group. There's a few players that really want to get success on that stage. Robert Thornton obviously had it in double trouble, but not in the main Super Series, so not played in a Champions Week. Martin Adams hasn't done it yet. You've got Warburton, who's lost in his last 2 finals here at the Super Series, and Justin Smith lost in the final as well. Just a quick word on Warburton, because he's in the first game. What does he need to do to ensure he gets that chance again and gets through to Saturday?
I think you said it there when you said they want it. I think maybe they want it too much, and you can want something too much to the point it starts to deter your own performance. We see the frustration build in the likes of Robert Thornton. We saw it at the back end of yesterday's play when Mike Warburton was losing the chance, almost a bit frustrated, just sort of not throwing the darts away, but not having the same sort of purpose about him. When he's a very intense character, and he needs to play with intensity. And if he loses that intensity, he's going to lose the games.
Right, well, his first game's about to get underway, so we'll get through to the comms box. He takes on Martin Adams in the opening match of the evening, and I had a chat with Wolfie earlier tonight. Martin, good to see you. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. Just sum up how you're feeling coming into this Group B tonight.
Well, it's been a strange old sort of like month, but I haven't been feeling my greatest at all. Practice has been up and down. Some days you're practicing well, and other days it's going rubbish. So you just stop practicing because you think to yourself, what's the point? They're either going to go or they're not. If they don't go, they don't go. If they go, they go. That's the way I approach it now.
It's interesting you mentioned practice. Someone who's been playing the game so long, is that still a big part of your life and your routine?
Well, I'd like to be able to practice more, but the body won't let me these days, with arthritis in my shoulder. And I think I'm getting it in my elbow, and my arm and my hand, and so it takes its toll on you.
Still, though, can throw a mean dart. We've seen it many times here at the Super Series. It's a decent group, this. You've got Robert Thornton, fellow seniors player. It was a fantastic Group A. Mike Warburton, Justin Smith were battling out, and Tommy Morris. It's a daunting prospect, isn't it, in that practice room when you look around?
I wouldn't say daunting, no. I mean, for me, it's probably going to be a bit of an uphill challenge, but it's not something that, you want to shy away from. I just hope I play well.
Do you think, for them, that it's a bit of a daunting prospect to face you because of the reputation that you bring here with you?
I've got no idea, to be honest. I don't really know how they feel about it.
Mike Warburton in the first match, what's the approach tonight? 4 games, win as many as you can, and you'll have a good chance of being back on stage on Saturday, but how do you approach it?
Well, you just play your best, really, as best as you can. I played Mike before, when we were over at Southampton and so forth. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I played him. I've watched some of his games online and that, and he's still throwing well. So I know what I've got to do. It's just a question of whether the body lets me do it.
We'll look forward to it. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Summed it up nicely, didn't he? Martin Adams knows what he has to do. He knows how to do it, but it's whether the weathered arm of Wolfie enables him to do it enough times to get through to the showpiece on Saturday. It's 10 o'clock here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. It's 5 o'clock somewhere when Martin Adams is on the hockey. The 3-time world champion back at the Super Series for another tilt at a weekly title. The opening match sees him face the Welshman, Mike Warburton, a semi-finalist at the World Masters 5 years ago now. But so close, so far, the story for both of these players actually, and most of the players in this group. I think we might see a little bit of tungsten tension, but it does look like a really close group in prospect. How important are these early matches, particularly for Martin Adams, who plays twice in the first 3?
Well,
First leg, it's
for yourself,
Martin
it's the most important thing.
Game
Have
on.
points on the board, don't be chasing. And for Martin Adams, we don't know how long he can last in an evening like this anymore in regards to producing his best darts. We've already heard from him in regards to how he thinks the night's going to go. We've heard my assessment of watching him in his warm-up and his practice, that there are question marks now when Martin Adams tries to win a group like this. So is in another 2 hours' time he's going to be producing his best.
180.
He needs to produce his best early. And Mike Warburton is asking early questions.
A perfect start for the Welshman.
100.
Leaving Adams in no doubt as to what he will face this evening.
And Warburton will be aware of that as well,
100.
that if Adams is going to play well, it's going to be early in the night. So he knows that he needs to be on his absolute A game here if he's going to be picking up the points.
What does come across whenever you talk to Martin Adams is that he's a guy who's just got a
100.
genuine love for this game, and it's why he continues to play it. You see many people who've won multiple titles in any sport that they'll just put the feet up after a while, but he just wants to keep playing and playing and
60.
playing wherever and whenever.
Yeah, 68 years old, we saw on the graphic at the start, and still throwing good darts.
180.
At times, the very best darts.
161.
And that probably puts a leg in his favour after Warburton had hit a 180 himself earlier in the leg. Adams hits back with one of his own.
78. Martin, you require 77. Game
And
shot
completes the
first
combination
there.
that follows.
Martin
First blood
Adams.
to WOLFIE.
Second leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
You can tell the pace of the Martin Adams game sort of changed over the years as well. As the body ages,
140.
the movement slowing down a little bit around the stage. But with that, the sort of mentality of Martin Adams, very good to deal with that. If he was more of a quicker player, you can imagine over time that having that slowing down would almost sort of derail a
81.
little bit. And that might be why we see players plummet down so quickly. Not adaptable enough or flexible enough when things have to slow down a little bit more.
100.
Adams has adapted. Throws evolve, but the fundamentals remain the same for him. Always grips the dart like holding a pen. And that throw hasn't altered too much.
84.
Sometimes he has that sort of butterfly release with the last dart, doesn't he? Where he sort of pushes it through the air on the follow through.
See, I call that a Spider-Man. And the reason is, if you watch it, when he has that sort of
60.
flick, the wrist will turn around so the wrist is pointing at the board and the palm will be facing up.
Got to do it now, Martin, and it'll make the point for us.
See how he throws there with the wrist coming down to the floor.
28.
That one wasn't a full rotation, but we was getting there with that last one, nearly a Spider-Man.
And the Warburton throw, I mean, we've spoken about it all
60.
week. Aesthetically pleasing, it is what many would coach. 1-4-1 remaining. One little trick that this old Wolf has never really been taught is some of the more sensible setting up from these kind of ranges. Most players
60.
nowadays would start on 18s on 308.
141.
And Martin Adams also with the psychology. If you give me a shot at something, I'm going to go for it. Whether it's a 161 on the ball and my opponent's still in the 400s.
60.
And a very stubborn stayer on treble 20, isn't he?
He'll be wanting to stay there for all three.
140. Mike, you require 81.
So to level the match, that gives him a dart, two
Game
darts,
shot
but
the
only needs one
second
dart.
there.
A double 12,
Mike
81
Warburton.
out, all square. Good start to the game. Good start
So
to the
then it's
night.
Martin to throw first.
I think this is sort of the standard and pace that we're going to get in regards to the productivity around the treble 20. We've got 5 solid players this evening, and I think they're going to serve us up a bit of a treat.
100.
There was one criticism of Warburton in that Group A campaign. It would have just been at the
100.
crucial moments, coming up dry too many times, a few too many 60s.
And because he really loves staying there, he's shuffling across. Really, these days, a player would switch. I think he is going to switch, actually.
97.
Just to disprove my point that Martin Adams a stubborn old guy.
But he did do the switch to the 19s. It's something I keep banging on about. That single
60.
19 would have left him in a situation he could not have left to finish, where the 17 does. Wasn't a problem in the end because he hit the treble 19.
You can see here, not a lot of movement, is there? Very static, very straight.
60.
Maybe a little bit with that last dart, which we did speak about, that the last dart can often be thrown a little bit different to the previous ones. But this is a thing of beauty, isn't it, the Warburton throw?
180.
Working to perfection.
Already 3 180s in this match between them in as many legs.
$95. Mike, you require 161.
And he might be making a move here to break the Adams.
89.
Well, the last start just lets him down a
Martin, you
little, but
require
you
149.
will in this situation be expecting to get at least a dart double in this leg.
$85. Mike, you require 72.
Break opportunity.
$32.
It's the facials
Martin,
as
you
well as Martin
require
Adams, isn't
64.
he? He's probably one of the original players who proper lives every single dart.
Game shot on the third leg. Martin
Brilliant.
Adams.
Rolling back the years, Martin Adams.
Fourth leg,
Two
it's Mike's to
clinical
throw
kills, isn't it?
first.
The
Game on.
77 and then that 64.
$140.
Reminder, if Martin Adams does make finals night and so does Ryan Branley, then we could get a match
140.
with the biggest age gap, we think, potentially in sporting history, never mind darting history.
60.
Well, Martin Adams' shirt says it's 5 o'clock somewhere. It's
47.
actually New York, it's 5 o'clock. 5:19 and 28 seconds.
Anybody watching Adams from the Big Apple?
60.
Start spreading the news.
$76.
It's a game about timing, and Adams has been good in this match.
100.
That first leg, he got a 180 at the right time, then took out the 77 that followed. Warburton was in a good position in the third, but then Adams cleaned up the 64 as well.
$45. Mike, you require 141.
Options here to come away from the 20s,
57.
which is now the preferred route for players on the 101 with one dart in hand. Can use the 19s in that situation to start on the ball rather than potentially having to finish.
59. Mike, you require 84.
Very similar to what we
Game
saw
shot the
from
fourth
Warburton earlier in the
Mike
match. He
Warburton.
took out 81 in 2 darts. He's now taken out 84 in 2 darts. And
Fair
the
gets Martin
combinations
to
in
throw
this game have
first.
been
Game on.
absolutely impeccable. Game 2 sees
78.
Robert Thornton take on Justin Smith, and then Adams will return to meet Tommy Morris. We'll have seen all 12 of this week's players by then.
60.
And later on in tonight's show, we are going to reveal all 12 of next week's players, so do stay tuned for that.
It's becoming one of the popular features now of a Thursday night. People staying up to see next week's
31.
lineup. Some amazing lineups in Series 9.
$100.
Well, something's tickling Martin Adams at the back of the stage. Either that or he's just really enjoying himself.
$100.
Well, that hand's worth a few bob, isn't it?
There was a time, a
60.
generation, wasn't there, where dart players was kitted out in all the gold.
Bobby George has been dubbed the king of bling. But I think Martin Adams is giving him a run for his money.
45.
Look at that.
He wouldn't want to fall off a cruise ship, would he? He'd sink straight to the bottom.
100.
The thing that stands out for me is what we spoke about this afternoon as well. That bracelet on the throwing
80.
wrist, but this one a loose fitted one, so he'll feel that movement. Obviously something he's got used to, but very, very rare do we see anything on the throwing hand, especially something that is going to move.
Mervyn King used to,
97.
I don't know if he still does,
Martin, you require 167.
something similar. You could see it move there. But he can't make enough progress here to worry Warby, who's on 84 again, the very same checkout he took out
125.
in the previous leg.
Mike, you require 84.
60 and 24. This time he needs to take a diversion. He's reached a dead end.
28. Martin, you require 42.
100% on the doubles so far, Martin Adams, and
Game
keeps
shot
that
the fifth
trend
leg.
going.
Martin Adams.
Give him a shot. He's going to take it. That is the message to Mike Warburton.
Sigler gets Mike to throw first. Game on.
Still such a good player, isn't he?
60.
He knows that he's not going to have those explosive spells where he reels off consecutive 4-visit legs, but in the key moments he just manages to find that way of winning legs, of hitting the big scores at the right
43.
times and taking out the combinations when he's just got one dart at double. Just seems to do it. And that really is what can be the difference between champions and so-called
41.
Neely men. You don't win 3 world titles in a raffle, do you?
123.
Can't even remember ever winning a raffle, actually, to be honest with you.
85.
There's an opportunity here for Martin Adams to get the job done. Making the most of the opportunity that Mike Warburton is presenting here. Just the one treble from Warby in the opening 9.
60.
Now in big trouble, and this was the problem in Group A for Mike Warburton. Too many trebleless visits in a chain.
Well, this will be a super start for Martin Adams. He'll be very happy with an opening victory over a player as good as Warburton. Just checking his score. Was trying to move over to the 18s, but he'll be content to have left himself that kind of shot, because it's the kind of shot he's been taken out in this match.
140. Martin, you require 89.
Well, he hasn't missed a dart at the double. He should be getting at least a dart at the bull here. It's going to be 2 at double 16.
The first flinch, followed quickly by the second.
Mike,
and he gives Warburton a chance to strike. Needed at least one treble.
59. Martin, you require 60.
Martin Adams with 3 clear will surely put Warby away.
Game shot and
it's a win for Martin Adams.
Martin Adams!
At the start of Thursday night's play, Wolfie shows he's still got it. A puff of the cheeks, a shrug of the shoulders, but 2 points in the pocket for Adams, who just hit the right things at the right time. The timing was what it was all about in that match. That 180 came to set up the 77 checkout in the opening leg of the match, and he just kept his nose in front from there with some good finishing. And he is the first victor of Group B. Coming next, Robert Thornton, winner of Double Trouble just a few weeks ago. He takes on the runner-up of Group A in Justin Smith.
Very good dart, he's done it. Not today.
Yeah, there was a chance, but there's no chance there.
FG's taken over here and he's...
Definitely not owned. It's definitely
he thinks
not
it's
owned.
it.
Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm not giving you that.
We are getting the back end of the leg here, and it's not going to go the way I thought it was there. I was about to mention the fact that we do have that rule in place.
That is a great marker. And a great win for Ginge, who goes through. Oh, he's found it away days. He couldn't find the treble, but he can find the doubles. And he's found himself in the next round. Great dart. And I can't help but think that... Double 7 now. Oh, and he's found it. Sean Nyland is knocked out. Darts for Fun, the favourite for the singles competition and the winner of the pairs.
I don't think is too bad an idea, considering how the first 18 darts have gone for Ellis.
Is this the first time we're seeing tag team darts?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Making the most of it, lads.
Time supporter and friend
Okay,
of
no,
Ellis.
maybe not. Not 1 second, okay. Up we
Hold
come.
on. We're
What's your
doing the
name?
same now.
Okay, Jaden, you require 74.
He knows where he's going. 56, double 20. Oh, that's a good effort. That's a very good effort. He throws a lovely dart. I think we should send one of them down and let one of them play against Jaden. That's a good dart.
Plenty of dartboard to use for one of the most unorthodox ways you'll ever see a semi-final being won.
And that is good.
It's a nervy game and nervy encounter. He is the favourite now to go on and win it, and he's trying to get... Struggled today with a bit of nerves. And that extra moment, that little bit of pause, that little bit...
second dart.
Calm down a little bit, just relax into the game.
Oh, hold on. Yay! We have the first one from an influencer.
It's one of them things he either loves or hates in a darts time. And he loves it! But that is...
It's Angry Jay!
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we're going to now see the double trouble champion Robert Thornton take to the stage. Of course, a master at the art of double start, but now he's back to the bread and butter for the Thorn, who's taking on the bearded dragon Justin Smith in the second of tonight's 10 tungsten ties. Smith, who was runner-up in a closely fought Group A to Andreas Harrison, already through to finals tonight. Robert Thornton hoping to get there again. The two-time World Seniors champion has a real spring in his step and a smile on his face after finally breaking that duck and getting glory on a Saturday night here. Justin Smith missed out in the final in his last bid to reach a Champions Week, and will be determined to make sure he doesn't suffer that unwanted fate of missing the opportunity to win Group A and then not making it through to finals night at all.
First leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
He's had that bit of sway, that bit of swagger about him, Robert Thornton.
40.
Throughout the evening so far in the back room and been very chirpy in the practice area.
100.
Sort of a new wave of confidence about him, and it'll be interesting to see if that can last, because if there's one criticism we've got over
100.
Robert Thornton, it's he can implode very quickly.
And that confidence was kind of bred by positivity, wasn't it?
140.
During one of his interviews on that double start week, that was before he'd even won it, that his wife, Christine, a big part of his career,
60.
had told him the head shaking's got to stop. Be a little bit more positive, glass half full. And he listened to that advice and ended up lifting the trophy.
140.
They always know better, don't they? Or at least that's what she told me anyway.
140, Justin, you're 121.
Well, he's done quite well there to put himself in the leg, but he could soon be out of it. That was bold
85.
by Smith, with Thornton on the finish.
161.
The finish that saw him hit one of the most famous 9-darters ever at the World Grand Prix. When remarkably, he and
92.
James Wade both hit a double start
Justin, you
9-darter
require
in the same
36.
match.
Game shot on the first leg.
And one other thing about
Smith.
Justin Smith we've noticed this week is that most times he's done that and stopped, he's actually stepped
Second
forward
leg,
and hit.
it's Justin to throw first.
Does it again to lead 1-0
Game.
with a break in the opening leg.
I think that pause was the temptation to make a split there as well. Looking at the two for the double eight, somewhere we know
100.
that he has a lot of success and really enjoys that part of the board. But seeing Robert Thornton sat on 69, wasn't willing to take the
83.
gamble.
After I have enjoyed watching Justin
59.
so far this week, I really did think that Group A was going to be his.
$180.
It's there again, Murph. Look, that 59 puts him non-effective. Thornton hits the 180 and you're chasing.
62.
Can't leave a finish.
Thornton racing into the distance.
85.
Just breaks down a little bit, but is on a finish first. And Justin will need 2 trebles to join him.
140. Robbie, 153.
Gets them. And we'll get a look at the 140.
99. Justin, you require 140. $98. Robert, you require 54.
Can still be done. Double 19.
35.
Real slip for Thornton, and the
Justin,
frustration
required
does spill
42.
over.
Nice marker. Can't
6.
use it.
Robert, you
Completely
require
going over
19.
the top of the flight there, trying to catch it on the way in. Robert is one of those players that do like to call out their own name when
Justin,
they miss
you
something.
require 36.
So I'm not going to try the accent, but I'm sure he'd have said, "Oh, Robert, rubbish."
28.
I'll be happy
Robert,
enough
you
now.
require 8.
Does like double 4. Not on that occasion. Double 2 won him the World Seniors title the first time around.
6.
But the double trouble theme is
Justin, you
carrying on for the
require
Thorn at the start
8.
of the return to standard Super Series stuff.
Game shot on the second leg. Justin
He
Smith.
doesn't get away with it on this occasion.
Third leg, it's Robert to throw
It's a
first.
game of 2 parts at the
Game.
moment for Robert Thornton. Nothing really wrong in the scoring department, but 0 from 7 when it comes to the finishing.
140. 100. 100. 60.
We saw Justin Smith putting some really strong performances in that Group A campaign, but so far here he's just been gifted a 2-leg lead.
140.
Been running through all Robert Thornton's greatest hits tonight. The 161 at the end of the 9 dart at the World Grand Prix. The double 2
140.
that he won the World Seniors
121.
with. This is what he won the UK Open with when he beat Phil Taylor in the final. And it includes
Game
the
shot
double
the
2 in the
third
finish
leg.
this time. That was
Robert
unorthodox
Thornton.
from Robert Thornton, but it worked out for him.
Fourth leg, it's Justin to throw first. Game on.
It's quite an action-filled final, that, wasn't it? That one with Phil Taylor. Because if you remember, there was that real serious threat on
85.
the power, wasn't there, with the stage invader?
Yeah, he didn't get too close, but
96.
Phil Taylor, to be fair, didn't get too close to Robert Thornton in that match, did he? It was some win for Thornton back in 2012.
45.
Yeah, the 1-2-1 that time ended on the bullseye. I'm not sure I've ever seen a 1-2-1 finished on double 2 before.
96.
How time flies, though. 12 years ago since Robert Thornton won that UK Open title.
140.
Remember it like it was yesterday.
Well, you would. You were getting thrown out for jumping
139.
on the stage, weren't you?
I did tell everyone I'd get on it one day.
140. Robert, you're recording 107.
How about the big fish? Not on this occasion.
58. Justin, you require 91. Robert, you require 112.
16.
Game shot on the
A real good
fourth
comeback
leg.
this from Robert Thornton.
Robert Thornton.
He's upped his game fantastically here. A dozen
Fifth
darts are
leg,
followed
it's
by a
Robert to
15
throw
dart leg.
first.
And suddenly 2-0 becomes 2-2.
Game on.
This is the difference between playing a continuum and when you've done something good and you've got confidence from a win,
100.
because Robert Thornton missing all those doubles, 7 darts at the double in the opening 2 legs, being 2-0 down, would have imploded 2 months ago.
140.
Having that recent win just gives you that little bit of grit, that little bit of fight that we're clearly seeing
93.
here from Robert Thornton.
100. $44.
Already getting a feeling this is going to be a really, really close group.
41.
The sort of one worry was Martin Adams, and he's already won his opening match.
$140.
Just going through the gears here, Robert Thornton. And the better Robert Thornton's got, Justin Smith's just starting to tail off the top of his game.
$59. Robert, you require 124.
Starting to chase around the board. Desperately searching for a treble. No trouble here for Thornton.
99. Justin, you require 161. $58. Robert, you require 25.
This is new. Thornton
17.
very often would go 17 with his first
Justin,
start to
you
leave double
require
four. He ended up there
103.
anyway.
Nearly
87.
a steal there
Robert, you
from
require
Justin
8.
Smith. The hand signal from Thornton suggesting he sort of flicked the dart, didn't throw it clean.
6. Justin, you require 16.
Just taking his time a little on approach here. He knows this is a big moment, and he
Game
knows
shot
that's
the
a big
fifth leg.
dart. Smith
Justin Smith.
takes control again.
Sixth leg,
The
it's
position
Justin
Robert
to throw
Thornton's in there is
first.
a sickening
Game
one when you've
on.
had so many opportunities and you're just standing there and waiting for our referee Owen Binks to call game shot.
100.
Not only that, that was a breaker throw there for Justin Smith.
$21.
Disapproving look from the referee. I'm not sure if that's fair.
100. $140.
And again, good signs from Robert Thornton. We talk about what the attitude had been like a month ago, missing all those doubles, having a bounce out, scoring 21, the implosion would have came.
60.
Instead, now fighting, digging. And rightly so, he's got some big events coming up over the next couple of months on the World Seniors Tour. Chance to pick up some more TV titles to
125.
add to his glittering CV. The Seniors Masters, the Seniors Match Play all coming up at the back end of the year.
100.
Had a few of the Roberts, haven't we, in response to wayward darts.
81. Justin, you require 141.
Well, this game may get away. Smith was looking for treble 15 to leave double 18 there.
83. Robert, you require 134.
Thornton was looking for treble 18 so he could throw at tops twice.
58. Justin, you require 58. $38.
Justin Smith's
Robert, you
turn
require
to
76.
hand an opportunity to his opponent.
Game shot on the sixth flag.
And in the legs that Robert Thornton has won, he's hit the double with the first dart on every occasion. If it doesn't go first dart, it doesn't go at all for Robert
It's
Thornton.
Robert to throw first. Game on.
Well, both of them have missed a fair share.
83.
Probably the missed doubles actually deflating the averages in this game. It has been a decent enough contest, but 10 darts missed at the outer ring by Smith.
60.
And 13 by the Thorn.
I think it's the character that Robert showed here that is most impressive, because he broke the
81.
throw there of Justin Smith despite only starting with 21. So he was essentially 6 darts behind.
Character is
100.
something that he's well known for, got it in abundance.
$45.
That UK Open victory we discussed earlier came, not 9 months after he was seriously ill in a hospital bed.
100.
And he knocked out all comers. It was a who's who of world darts in his brutal draw
125.
in Bolton. Beat Phil Taylor to win that title. Then 3 years later would beat the then world #1 that had replaced him, Michael van Gerwen, to win the World Grand Prix.
100. Robert, you broke 167. $85. Justin, you require 141.
It's a big ask, but he's up to the task.
123.
It was a 141
Robert, you
that
require
he had hit
82.
against him in exactly that fashion that stopped him already being at finals night. Now he's missed that shot,
42.
but he will return for what's left as Robert
Justin, you
Thornton
require
misses his chance
80.
to win the game.
Just a little unsettled here, Justin Smith. Not being rushed into the situation.
This time he does split. Goes where he feels comfortable. And it pays off as the Welshman wins.
Justin Smith.
A 4-3 success over the Scotsman as Smith sees off Thornton in the pair's opening encounter of the evening. It was hard work for Justin Smith. Having a little conversation, explaining how he feels at the end of that one. Really was put through the mill in the game. A 4-3 win in the end. You can see that both players there had ample opportunities to win it. There were moments of magic, including that 1-2-1 checkout for Robert Thornton, one of 2 ton toppers for him. But it's Smith who pockets the points. Coming next, Tommy Morris in action for the first time. He takes on Martin Adams.
Welcome back to the party in Portsmouth here at the Modus Live Lounge.
And he was right. Van Velzen's had opportunity, but it's Steve West that takes his opportunity. Does he get one this time? The jury's out. Is the double in? Listen to that! And Jimmy Van Ski is still alive! He's made it! And Marvin Van Velzen! Jimmy Van Ski probably felt he's already been out already tonight. Surely not again. Oh, Jimmy! It's a wry smile. What a finish! What a man! What a response! Of the 5-time weekly champion. It's Jimmy Van Ski who makes the final. Are we, Jimmy? You bet we are. One leg to see who the champ is. Yes, he can. Marvin is the man. Marvin Van Velzen!
This is the Modus Super Series, where we are surrounded by top tungsten talents, and another one of them is about to play his first game of the night. No, not Martin Adams, he's already won one. It's that man there, Tommy the Gun. Morris, a very, very talented player, and actually one of the kind of poster boy stories for the Super Series. Came in as a late replacement for a player who'd withdrawn after one day's play on a Thursday. Really impressed on the Friday when he got here as a relatively local talent, and has kept being invited back since. 32-year-old from Poole. 5 times has made finals night. Looking to do it again against Martin Adams, 68 years of age now, but still throwing good darts, and already has a win under his belt when he got the better of Mike Warburton 4-2 in the opening match.
It was my outside play of the evening, Tommy Morris. I like what I see in regards to the development of his career, and certainly his growth in this venue, the way he looks so much more comfortable and composed, and so much to like about Tommy Morris. He's a very exciting player to watch, and I'm really looking forward to
First
later on
leg,
when he
it's
takes on
Tommy
Justin
to
Smith.
throw
But I
first.
think 5-1
Game on.
for Tommy Morris to win this group might just be a little bit too big.
140.
It gives us a little indication as to why Matthew Edgar may think that. If you are going to have a flutter at any point at the Modus Super Series, please always gamble responsibly. It's 18 plus begambleaware.org for all the information on safe and
76.
responsible gambling.
$97.
Super speedy most of the time, Tommy Morris, but he does have a tendency to slow himself down when going for doubles.
And it's quite a handy skill to have, to be able to alternate between paces, because you don't always
83.
play someone at a pace that you want to play at. And Martin Adams is certainly going to play at his pace, and that nowadays is a little bit more
125.
subdued. So being able to alternate is probably something he's going to need throughout tonight, because when he plays Justin Smith, he'll probably always feel like he's at the hockey. We feel like there isn't an opponent.
$140.
Adams
Tommy
was about to highlight a point that you've
139.
been making all week, that a 180 there wouldn't have let him a finish because of what he'd left before it.
39.
Yeah, 3-4-2 is a nightmare shot after 6.
Morris has been solid though for most of this leg, barring the previous
60.
visit.
Tommy require 100.
And he's found at least one treble in every other visit, so if he finds one here, he'll get a go at a double. In fact, he tries to take
60.
tops out
Martin
twice.
require 142.
I quite like the sort of safety shot there as well, looking towards the bottom wire of the tops. We see a lot of people throw the dart off the board and causes all sorts of issues. You then got to burn extra darts.
45.
It's been a good leg though
Tommy, you
to set
require
it up after
40.
15.
Game shot on the first leg.
Takes it out with
Tommy
no problems.
Morris.
Good settler there. You always want that first leg on the board.
Second leg, it's Martin to throw first.
Wastes no time in
Game.
getting it. It's not very outwards, shall we say, in Tommy Morris's approach, but you can tell there's a
85.
very sort of steely aggression bubbling just underneath.
Some little smirk on his face there, not sure what that was about.
97.
You said Matt at the top of the show about, I mean, we've got a group of
140.
players who have nearly won weeks at the Super Series. You mentioned wanting it too much. I think that description maybe applies the most to Tommy Morris. And he's spoken about that in previous finals nights. There's been a big audience to follow him predominantly. And he has put that little bit of extra pressure on himself. It hasn't panned out as he would have hoped.
135.
See that story quite a lot, don't we, with the players that are local to this venue.
140.
But he's going through the gears in this game.
141.
Getting stronger as the game goes on. Finding plenty of trebles. That is third 140 already.
Yeah, it's a good performance, this.
100. Tommy, you require 120.
From Morris, but to double his lead, he's going to have to take out a three-figure combo. Double 11, and there we see the step back that we mentioned he would do.
102. Martin, you require 41.
He's had a dart. Will he get more? Well, we talk about darts being thrown off the board, having to burn one. This was my concern for Martin Adams as the night goes on, when he's got to move around the board. Certainly, when I was watching him practicing beforehand, he was struggling with the height.
Tommy, you require 22.
Morris back for the target he missed in the previous visit. Can't come inside now. Gets his full quota.
Game shot in the second.
Doubles his lead to 2-0.
Yeah, that issue with the height, you tend to find it doesn't show itself too much when you're throwing into a concentrated regular area like the treble 20. It's when you're looking down those sides, trying to find those big numbers that you may lose a dart or two, and on this occasion, it's cost him his throw.
$83. 95.
He's been able to do this from time to time, just spring up with a big score. Found one in the first match, a maximum that is, finds one in a game that he looked out of, really. Martin Adams, he looked out of this leg, 46. But the 180 may have just given him control of it. Only 18 points behind with these to deduct.
The one thing that will be in the back of Tommy Morris's mind, though, now is just that little bit of confidence, that little bit of extra belief, because
41.
You've just seen your opponent throw a big clanger, and you'll always think that he's capable of doing it again. 55. So you just don't panic. Although, he'd been well advised to have moved away from the 20s there.
Yeah, didn't think, and all probably because of the pace he plays and the fact that his first dart missed the target he was going for. Just didn't stop for thought and carried on throwing in that area and leaves himself without an outshot.
59.
Now having to think of the best way to leave his preferred target, which is tops.
Martin, you require 138.
Again, after 15 darts on the double. Good, solid performance from Tommy. He's going to get a go to put himself a leg away. Adams going to be breathing down his neck.
98. Tommy, you require 40.
Leaves the same target, but Tommy gets the first go at it and pins it first time. No trouble at all.
Tommy Morris.
This is kind of the first drama-free performance we've seen this evening.
Game on. $135.
Just reminding Tommy Morris there that he's not going to have everything his own way.
60.
For Tommy Morris, this would be a big win for him as well. As you mentioned, very new to this sort of environment still. So to pick up a win against one of the legends of the sport,
83.
be a good scalp.
$140.
I'd see him join Adams and
60.
Justin Smith on 2 points, with the two players who wouldn't have points yet playing each other in the next game, Mike Warburton and Robert
85.
Thornton.
$180.
Second maximum of the game, both in the favour of Martin Adams. But this is where it unravelled a bit for him
45.
last time, but
Martin
this
required
occasion,
43.
he's got a bit of time. That last start deflecting into the 5 for Tommy Morris.
Gets the single he wanted, and
Game
his
shot on the
doubling
fourth
has
leg.
actually been
Martin Adams.
top draw so far tonight. Martin Adams,
Fifth leg, it's Tommy to
who
throw
was
first.
4 out of 7
Game
in his first match, hits the only dart he's had a double in this, and it came off the back of that 180 setup, his second of the game.
43.
Well, he's actually averaging more than Tommy Morris here. But they're very
100.
limited to just that one dart at the double.
It's a little bit erratic. It's got suddenly for Morris, looking to put that
100.
right. The previous 3 visits had all seen him throw at least one stray dart. So that will be a nice feeling, just to straighten up again, get a steady ton, and get back on course.
100. $45.
But he's not back on course. 45 left in that 171 in the previous leg. Another 45 there, a 43 in the first visit of this leg. It's Adams who's staying solid with 3 straight tons.
$26.
Tommy Morris starting to lose his way.
55.
It's all been since that finishing line, just got a little bit closer.
125.
Wayward last
Martin,
means
you
no
reckon
finish for
146.
Tommy Morris. Giving Martin Adams a chance here, 6 darts to break the throw.
Yeah, even a good visit became a bad one there, didn't it, for Morris?
84.
Well, that can get tricky for Martin Adams. It doesn't feel like a lot, 62.
92.
It's one of those awkward
Martin,
ones.
you
If the first
require
dart doesn't go
62.
right, you're still only getting the 1 dart at the double.
Well, that goes perfectly right. But that goes horribly wrong. Well, you can see what he thinks about it.
Well, that reaction was very much like Michael van Gerwen
Tommy
versus Luke
requires
Humphries, wasn't
70.
it?
Yeah, for different reasons. Morris, though, can win the match here and now.
50. Martin,
Could
you
not
require
cross the line.
16. no score.
Again, struggles with that height. Dropping low was
Tommy
my
require
expectation.
20.
And he dropped low again.
And that's music to the ears of Tommy Morris. He cannot seem
You require 60.
to put Adams away.
Well, he said it was music, but it doesn't sound like a very joyful song right now for Tommy Morris. This could be tricky.
12. Tommy, you require 10.
Have another go, Tommy. And this time, he does get it done. He does get it won. As Morris defeats Adams to pick up his first points in his first match, and that takes him to the top of the embryonic table here at the Super Series in Group B. Good work in the end. He started in explosive fashion. It kind of petered out for Tommy Morris, who actually ended up with a lower average because of several missed opportunities towards the end of that match. But Martin Adams missed enough himself to get back into it, and Morris took full advantage. 2 points for him, 2 for Smith, 2 for Adams, who won against Warburton early this evening. So now the 2 pointless players, Thornton and Warburton, will go head to head.
Please welcome to the stage, Angry Ginge and John Henderson.
And this is where... Hang on, wow. He's on about right there for Nyland, but you do not expect him to get another visit in this match. John Henderson, double 10. And he pins it to take the opening. Devon coming up first for double 10. He's the one that left it, and he's the one that hits it for the opening leg.
They talked a good game, didn't they, beforehand? They're not quite delivered it as of yet. You still make Devon Peterson. This is a big favourite from this moment.
Oh, hello.
It's the big favourites.
Goes 2-0. But it doesn't.
The most successful player at the Super Series is the man who turns it around.
He's got it 1-0. Away days and Bradley Brooks. May see a double-double. Does go double 19. What's another double 19? Great shot. Wow, very good.
The Bradley Brooks show.
No one aiming, unfortunately. He did go for this one.
But this could go. This is a match opportunity.
And both their darts stand up to. Will they block it? They will not. John Henderson to take himself. I think he was going for a 7 there, but it doesn't matter because he's going to hit it anyway. 47 kills.
Still an opportunity to showcase what he can do. And that's what Steve West can do. A double-double to get the job done. When you get those nerves, you just hang on to the dart a bit too long.
Steve West finds tops for a breaker throw. Steve West at double 20. Tops for the match. Darts for fun and Steve West.
Steve West and Darts for Fun!
Welcome back to the live lounge in Portsmouth, UK, where Mike Warburton and Robert Thornton are about to do battle to get their first points of the night. Both have played, both have lost. Warburton went down 4-2 to Martin Adams. Thornton missed the opportunity to beat Justin Smith in a last leg decider. Since then, Adams has been beaten for the first time, a 4-1 defeat at the hands of Tommy Morris. But now, whoever loses this game will be the only player without points as we head towards the halfway stage of the evening.
just enjoying watching that VT there and just
First leg, it's
reliving
Mike to
the
throw
second
first.
influencer event here at the Super
Game
Series. And Robert Thornton, one of my favourite moments there was when he was giving it a bit of mouth in the background and John Henderson stops to turn round and Robert Thornton blamed the crowd. That's a tactic he's not going to be able to employ in this game should Warburton hear any issues going on behind him.
Well, that got John Henderson back for that almighty whack he gave Thornton round the head at the World Cup.
$100.
Little gems like that all over darts is that you forget about them. As soon as someone reminds you of it, you know instantly the moment.
84.
If you haven't seen that, do look it up after tonight's show. Still plenty of action to bring you. 6 more matches after this, and we're also going to reveal next week's lineup. And I can tell you one name on that list in particular really piques my interest, and I think it may do yours as well.
97.
I won't give you too much of a clue, but I will say it's somebody that will be playing on the Super Series stage
28.
for the first time.
$45.
Always on the lookout, aren't we, for new players, debutants, people that can come here and challenge for that title.
60.
Thornton not starting this game how he finished the last.
Far from it, and Warburton looking to make sure he makes this leg count, and he does by taking out 113 for a very good combination checkout to hold his throat.
Second leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on. $140.
There we see it again, that bounce back ability from Robert Thornton.
60.
And I wonder if those big seniors titles coming up have just sort of refocused him a little bit. Sometimes it can get a bit tricky when you don't have anything on the horizon to really look forward to within the sport, to have the motivation to put the hours in and get yourself into peak condition.
Yeah, and he held most of them, didn't he, in the first season? In fact, won the World Championship the first 2 seasons, but they are now shared out the titles between John Henderson, Richie Howson and Leonard Gates.
100.
Who will defend his World Match Play crown in York.
$60.
Went through a phase of domination on that circuit, didn't he? Both Leonard Gates and, at the start, Robert Thornton.
60.
The 2 stars on the collar of his shirt represent those 2 World Seniors Championship wins.
$60. Robert, you reckon 141.
We'll see
45.
a repeat of one of those finals, won't we? In a game's time. We've got Justin Smith and Tommy Morris, then Martin Adams versus Robert Thornton.
60. Robert, you require 96.
Yeah, the very first final. What shape will Thornton be in by then? Will he need a win? Will he still be without points? Or is he going to pick some up here?
80.
That would have helped, but he will return with 3 at the same target.
60. Robert, you require 60. Eight. Mike, you require 141.
Well, this would hurt.
It really would have. Robert Thornton was getting his
Robert, you
tub of cream ready to rub
8.
into the wound.
No score.
He's still going to need it, and I think the dartboard is as well.
Mike, you require 32.
The disapproving look from the headmasterful
Game shot the
referee in
second
Binks there.
Mike Warburton.
And Mike Warburton takes full advantage.
The leg, it's
Think in
Mike
the
to
rule
throw
book,
first.
it would come under
Game.
aggressively throwing a dart, that one. So the referee was probably right to reprimand, even though he didn't do it verbally.
60.
Give him the Dwayne Johnsons, didn't you, with the eyebrows?
59.
Well, Thornton's head's still shaking now. This is a problem that has plagued his career. Nearly causing him to feel the wrath of the ref.
100.
You ever had the wrath of a ref?
Yes. Yep. Well, not the full wrath. I had a bit of just a verbal
60.
warning, shall we say, during a World Championship match. I was maybe playing up to the crowd a little bit too much.
Was it merited?
I think I probably could have gone a little bit further before I got the warning, but I was just told to calm it down a touch.
60.
One of our co-commentators here had to be literally manhandled by the referee, didn't he, to stop him pretty much jumping into the
59.
crowd and taking them all on. And if you've only seen our commentators in this environment, you would never guess who it was.
To be fair, I think I was about to jump in the crowd myself for a bit of surfing. It was going that way.
$83. Mike, you require 81.
Well, here, Mike Warburton is sailing.
$57. Robert, you require
He's been known to shake his head on the hockey. He stood at the back of the stage shaking his head as Warburton hit that, probably in full expectation.
56. Mike, you require 24.
There is a cloud of negativity following Thornton in this match. Needs to remember that advice he was given by his wife last time he was here, that
21.
ultimately
Robert,
helped
you
him take the
require
title.
48.
Gets a bit of fortune. Now, can he see that as an opportunity, and can he embrace that opportunity?
Game shot on the third leg. Robert Thornton.
There's a lot of Roberts up there, isn't there? The war cry of Robert Thornton.
Fourth leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game on.
We will be having another one of those players here next year as well. Adrian Lewis.
100.
One of the breed of players that like to call out their own name.
Actually, once saw Adrian Lewis win a leg and
140.
then declare the three words, "Well done, me."
Wasn't there a pool or snooker interview
41.
once where someone did a whole interview congratulating themselves?
Yeah, congratulations, me.
$60.
Not our style here at the Super Series.
140. $60.
We said earlier this group could be close, and whatever happened in this match, there are going to be 4 players tied on 2 points. We did once have a Group B where
59.
it went down to the very last match, and had that match gone the other way, every player would have finished on the same amount of points, remarkably. Still hasn't happened that in any group.
100. Robert, you require 161. $55. Mike, you require 141.
Keeps threatening these kind of things.
89.
Mike Warburton.
Robert, you require 106.
106 for Thornton. Becomes 86. And now can't finish.
54. Mike, you require 52. Game shot on the 4th leg. Mike Warburton.
Big dart that one for Warburton, because it was just feeling like it was starting to slip away from him a little bit, and not through the brilliance of Robert Thornton, but the mistakes
Game on.
that Mike Warburton was starting to make. Just reinstalls that little bit of a cushion in the scoreline. Looks like it's reinstalling the faith.
140. $140. $68.
Very rare slips left and right there from Mike Warburton.
140. $100. $180.
Well timed and just in time actually for Robert Thornton. Finally puts a great leg of darts together. A brace of 140s followed by a max.
59. Robert, you require 41. $21.
That double top, such a key
Mike,
part of his
require
game. Not really
134.
going for him tonight. Would it have been a better decision to stay on that target in this situation?
94.
Oh, absolutely. That looked really
Robert, you
inviting.
require
Right
20.
on the top wire. Literally just with a bit of an angle. This is a big dart. Could be a
Gauge
game
on the
turner
5th
there for
leg.
Robert Thornton.
Robert Thornton.
Last dart in hand, just when his opponent thought he was going to come back for match darts. A painful
Sixth leg, it's
situation to
Robert
be in
throw
there
first.
for Mike Warburton.
Game on.
Thornton continues fighting.
$100. $60. $81. $60. $134.
And in the first match that Thornton played, he Was it a last leg decider? He's heading towards another one seemingly here. Although the doubling hasn't been great from Thornton, so
81.
no guarantees.
Warburton's hit 5 140s so far in this game. He'd love another right now.
100. Robert, you require 105.
Just leaves him out on that big range.
65.
Sky high from Thornton.
Mike, you require 140.
Warburton's been hitting the first treble in these combinations all throughout this match. This time he can't do it. Well, Thornton with 3 at tops.
57.
This is exactly where
Robert,
he likes
you
to be.
require 40. Game shot on the 6th flag. Robert Thornton. 7th and final leg. It's Mike to throw first. Game on.
The scoring power recently has been in the favour of Robert Thornton. In the last leg shootout, though, it kind of all goes out the window. But very
41.
flicky there from Warburton, not finishing his throw. Just trying to get them out the hand too quick. Maybe a sign of panic.
180.
Oh, what a stellar start from the tenacious tartan tungsten
60.
tosser.
$58.
Follows a huge hit with a little frustrating visit,
60.
but Warburton just can't find the weight of the dart here. No trebles in 9 darts.
171.
2 maximum visits now for Robert Thornton in a deciding leg. That's why he's got the cushion on the scoreboard, and that's why he's going to
100.
get plenty
Robert, you
of
require
match darts.
92.
Well, what a way to put on a sprint finish here from Thornton. Absolutely superb closing out of that game.
Match. Robert Thornton.
Mike Warburton doesn't know what hit him at the end, as Thornton, who had kind of struggled and stuttered through that showdown, managed to put in a burst at the end. A dozen dart leg to see off Warburton and to be the one to pick up the points, leaving Warby at the foot of the table without a point to his name. Thornton gets his first win. Everybody other than Warburton has won a game tonight. So the victor in the match after the break between Justin Smith and Tommy Morris will top the table at the halfway stage of the evening. Welcome back to the live lounge, where we're about to play the 5th of tonight's 10 fixtures, and it's going to be blink and you'll miss it stuff, this one. Justin Smith and Tommy Morris do rather like to get on with it. And whoever does get the victory in this game will be unbeaten after the first couple of matches, and will be the only player that's able to say that. Will it be the bearded dragon from Wales, Justin Smith, or can Tommy Morris live up to the billing that Matthew Edgar gave him as the favourite for the night? And for most of the match against Martin Adams, he made you look right, but he kind of fell over the line in the end, didn't he, despite it being a 4-1 success.
Well, Justin Smith made you right there as well when he said they'd like to get on with things. He didn't even throw his third practice start, he just opted for the 2.
140.
Were you here we're thinking of little funny moments tonight for some reason. Were you here the week that John Michael
41.
played? And he just kept ushering his opponent. No, you have your practice starts. I don't need mine.
Yes, that was a very entertaining week, wasn't it, with John Michael?
100.
He just stood at the back of the stage, didn't he, with his arms crossed, like refusing to play.
85.
He was offering a fist bump for most things, wasn't he, as well? And then didn't he ignore someone else's offer of a fist bump to him?
Was it Jeff Smith who offered him the fist bump and he just walked straight past like, nope?
140. Justin, you require 107.
That's the only story you'll have time for in this leg.
84.
Justin Smith went fishing, but couldn't net the big one.
Remember, Scott Williams just used to throw his last 3 darts in the board all at the same time.
100.
Didn't even used to
Justin,
take the
require
last 3.
86. Game shot on the
Nicely
first
done,
leg.
Smith leads.
Justin Smith.
Did you have any little quirk with your practice starts? I know some players will throw at different targets in
Second
their
leg is Tommy to throw first.
darts they get on
Game.
stage.
Yeah, it was always last 3 darts I made, double 3 bull tops. Just straight up that
42.
middle line.
One quick story. I won't name the player because I might get him in trouble.
140.
But there was a dartboard by previous manufacturer
140.
where the numbers came off on the number ring. You could place them anywhere. And there was one particular professional player that used his practice darts to try and knock the numbers off the board, much to the
100.
frustration of the referees.
I believe said player also got threatened with disciplinary
45.
action.
Yeah, when his opponent was going for 0-0 in the first leg. They realised the problem.
100.
To be fair, it did used to be annoying when you'd go to the practice boards and there'd be those numbers all over the floor because he wanted to stay on one board.
41.
He used to move down the boards, didn't he?
161.
170 was attempted in the previous leg. 161 is going to be attempted here, but the big news is
95.
really Tommy Morris has carried on more in the vein of how he finished the previous match rather than how he started it. And Justin Smith is
99.
finding one of those performances
Justin, you
that we
require
saw in Group A.
66.
He's missed that big number by a distance.
34. Tommy, you require
Morris could find a flash of something good. Not to beat.
94. Justin, you require 32.
Ooh, a little bit tricky. But you have to move right across to the left-hand side to
Game
open it
shot
up,
the
and that's a
second
great
leg.
dart there from Justin Smith.
The leg is Justin to throw first. Game on.
If you're moving away from the centre of the hockey, you're also growing the distance to the target. I would say that was about 9.5 feet.
180.
You just feel a visit ahead of Tommy Morris at the moment, and that also reflected in the numbers.
96.
Big numbers. Big numbers from Justin Smith, who goes back-to-back 180s, teeing up the prospects of a perfect leg.
41.
I've been teased a few times today.
105.
The most important thing here for Justin Smith is getting the leg done, getting the point on the board. And he could do it in 10 darts. We've seen some 11 darters this afternoon.
57.
Can we go one better?
Require 36.
A real surge by Smith, who's found a purple patch in this game.
Game shot.
Shows in a way he didn't really care about the number of darts it took. Hopkins split in the middle there, just wanted to make sure he won the leg, and he did win it in a dozen. He's flowing a flat 100 average across the first 3 legs.
135.
I said at the very start of the show that the pace of this game could really suit the players, and Justin Smith will rarely find a player that allows him just to play with his rhythm and freedom. Tommy Morris is that guy, matching the pace.
And I'm almost getting the sense that Morris has maybe identified that, and he's starting to just put the brakes on himself a little bit here. And if that is the case, it means that he's maybe affecting himself.
99.
No sign of it in the throw, but just in the pace of approaching the oche and retrieving the darts.
But is it too late? Because Justin Smith's already got the bricks of throw he needs. He's going to have the advantage of throw twice in order to get the job done.
81. Justin, you require 161.
Well, it would be a fitting way to finish a brilliant performance. It's beyond him, but the only way that Morris is going to stay 95. In this, you fancy, is at 127 and game. That's class. That is top class from Tommy Morris in a game where he's been battered and bruised. Suddenly, he finds a moment of magic.
$60. $140. $100. $45. $100.
Well, there you see how quickly Morris is ready to throw his darts as Smith is 80. Retrieving his. Just takes a moment, lets Tommy get out of the way. But then the pace of throw is just as quick as his opponent.
140. $85.
Treble there for Tommy does mean he's down to a finish. But Justin will fancy he's got 6 from here.
$85. Tommy require 151.
Wants to use the smallest target, but to leave his favourite double. And he will. Here they go. 3 match darts incoming here for Justin Smith. Tommy Morris is sat ready to strike.
60.
Well, he did all the work early in his previous match. He's come good too late, potentially, in this one. Tommy Morris, because Justin Smith just got a head start.
Justin Smith!
He played well all throughout the match. Morris turned up in the last couple of legs, but it was too late for the gun to start firing. And Smith sees him off and picks up his second win from as many matches this evening. The 98.88 average helping him get that victory, and he's the only one not to have lost in the 5 in the field tonight. Smith unbeaten after his first couple of matches. 5 fixtures remain, and we're going to talk you through them. But before that, we're going to let you know who's playing next week. Stay tuned. Welcome back. It's the halfway stage of the night, therefore quarter of the way through Group B this week. We thought it would be close, and it has been pretty close. Matt, what have you made of what you've seen so far?
Just someone's got to gel it all together, haven't they? It's been really, really good at times. Some amazing darts, great standard, great fight backs, good stories developing through the night. But moving forward now, someone's got to try and get that back-to-back win. We've seen Justin Smith do that at the start of the night, but I don't think it's going to take too much to win this group. It's going to be a group where everyone's going to be beating each other, and I don't think when it comes down to it that you're going to need to be looking at 8 points plus. I think someone could get through on 6 here.
Yep, Smith already has 4 with those 2 wins. Mike Warburton without a win yet. He's going to play Smith and Morris. Any reason to worry yet for Mike?
I think there would be on the case of when we talk about Mike Warburton's throw and the style and we talk about how good it is, there's been times tonight where he's just not completed that throw and completed that action and almost trying to get it out the hand too quick. And we see that in regards to the arm where it just sort of jolts back a little bit, the dart then drops a low. So it's very rare that we actually look at the throw of Mike Warburton and think that's what's letting him down. But at times tonight, he's just trying to rush it a little bit, it feels.
You did say just before someone needs to gel everything together. Did that kind of happen for Justin Smith, particularly in that match we just saw against Tommy Morris?
He was brilliant, wasn't he, Justin Smith? He had a very, very tiny wobble in the sort of back end of that game, but that's because Tommy Morris was hitting very strong. He'd already done the damage at that point, so he can just weather that storm quite easily, and he did in the end. Real polished performance of the night so far, and if he can keep that going, it's going to show why he was the favourite.
There are different ways to win darts matches, and Robert Thornton, well, we saw him win his with that kind of synonymous darting doggedness.
And it's something that's coming back into his game, which is good to see. He's been very much criticised in recent times of just rolling over, and players notice that, and you like playing people like that. As soon as you draw someone like Robert Thornton when they get negative, you love it, because even when they're playing well, you think, well, as soon as you start missing things, which is inevitable in this game, you're not going to hit everything all the time, it's still going to start going south. So you always wait and hope for that opportunity. So if he can start to get that out of his game, we could see him back in the winners' enclosure.
Yep, it's a tight table. Justin Smith leads it, of course, having won both his games. Robert Thornton second, with Tommy Morris both having a 0 leg difference. Martin Adams got a victory in his first match of the night. Mike Warburton, as we mentioned, no points yet. But let's now just break away from this week's action and reveal for the first time the lineup for week 3. And we've got John O'Shea, Andy Hamilton, Adam Paxton in Group A, along with Carl Sneed, Bradley Roos, a former winner, and Bram van Dijk. But the name that was jumping out to me, former World Youth Champion James Hubbard. He's going to make his Super Series debut in Group C, along with Anthony Allen and the ADC qualifier Jack Tweddle, David Wazowski, Lee Cox and Shane Hayward in Group B. Hayward made a final on his debut. But let's talk about Hubbard, because he's going to be an interesting participant here, a player that kind of fell out of love with the game but is getting going again.
James Hubbard was a name that stood out for me the second I saw the VT in regards to the players coming up in Series 9. And the reason for that, I was around the time when James Hubbard was doing very well on the youth development tour that it is now. He qualified for the World Match Play. That wasn't through Youth Darts. That was through the Pro Tour. That means he was in the top 16 of the Pro Tour Order of Merit, which is very, very hard to do in any era or generation. And he did that. And he was getting into the World Championship. He's getting into all the big events. And then fell down as quickly as he emerged. Hasn't really found sort of that next sort of level, a step down. We see people like Robert Thornton come off the tour and they go win on the seniors tour. We see people drop off, they go have success elsewhere. He hasn't found that stage to have the success on, but he's now starting to play again. I saw recently he was at a county venue as well. So I'm really intrigued to see what he's got, and if he's going to bring it here when he comes to the Super Series, he could find that platform where he can find a happy level.
Yeah, maybe. Me too. Very interested in that. He'll be hoping to get through to a finals night. And every Saturday here at the Super Series, we open our doors to the public. always a unique experience here at the beautiful Live Lounge in Portsmouth. A very different darting atmosphere. And these are two players who've played in every kind of Arrows atmosphere. Martin Adams, 3-time world champion. Robert Thornton, world master, UK Open winner, World Grand Prix winner, 2-time World Seniors champion. And the man he beat in his first Seniors final, you guessed it, Wolfie, Martin Adams. And now the pair of them are battling it out to see who can go joint top of the table. The winner of this will take their points tally to 4 and join Justin Smith. But who will it be? On the evidence of the evening, would you lean towards the Thorn?
Yeah, and I think at this point of the day with
Game on.
warning signs maybe for Martin Adams, and I wouldn't be surprised if the performance was to just start getting a little bit more inconsistent now as the evening draws on.
100.
That's been a little erratic from,
81.
I would say, the majority of players at times in this group. And on paper, you were looking at this Group B thinking, that's a really strong group. And looking at the Group C thinking, that's, you know, pretty weak for a Group C. Yet there was some really good stuff thrown this afternoon.
45.
And the players tonight haven't really been able to match it yet.
We did pick up on that this afternoon as well, saying that it could be very unassuming in regards to, you may not recognise the names, but they can certainly find those trebles.
Yeah, that stunning performance from the 16-year-old Ryan Branley in full, available on the YouTube channel. If you can't catch 40 winks at the end of this, then
95.
have a look at that. Brilliant display from the teenage talent. We did just reveal the lineup for next week. I'm going to get some more thoughts from Matthew Edgar throughout this match as well. James Hubbard, the name that jumped off the list for us, the former World Youth Champion at the Live Lounge for the first time. But I'm going to go in depth on a couple of the other players following this leg.
140. $66. Martin, you require 121.
Adams looking at the ball.
96.
Finds the moat
Robbie, you
around the
require
castle,
170.
but can't plant his flag.
$77. Martin, you require 25.
I think tops has been Robert Thornton's castle. But he may not get a chance to go home.
21. Robert, you require 40. Game shot on the first leg. Robert Thornton. Second leg, it's Robert to throw first. Game.
Here's an interesting lineup.
83.
Next week. Players in Group A that haven't historically had the chance in Group A very often. John O'Shea and Andy Hamilton, and for the first time, Adam Paxton is rewarded for winning his week last time around. Bradley Roos is one of the ADC Europe representatives, has won
81.
here before. I mean, it's an interesting group, that, isn't it? A couple of really experienced players and a couple of rising stars.
Yeah, absolutely.
58.
Adam Paxton was a big story, wasn't he, in the previous series, when he was a relatively unknown in regards to sort of this international platform, and came through and won his week.
And it was a tough week. Martin Adams landing another maximum, but people may forget that week that Adam Paxton won included Andy Bolton, Cam Crabtree,
60.
Mike Warburton, who's here tonight, Wesley Plazier, and the likes of Aidan Kirk, Victor Tingstrom had been successful here. Jared Cole hit a 9-darter on this stage. Great week to win.
140.
James Hubbard in Group C with someone I know you know well, Anthony Allen. And then David Wazowski, Lee Cox and Shane Haywood in Group B. That's a different kind of look to this week.
You require 100.
This is looking good for Martin Adams.
95.
You know where I'm going, don't you, Matt? What's the early call? We've not even done this week yet, but I'm asking you for next week's winner.
Oh, wow.
35.
Oh, double wow.
Martin,
Thornton
you require 5.
doesn't leave a finish there due to the unfortunate nature of dart number 3.
Pair of 2s for Adams.
One. $90.
And he's
Martin,
back
you
again
require 4.
for that same target. This could have been an 11-dart leg. Adams making heavy weather of it at the moment. He ends up in the madhouse. But he can't find it. And suddenly now the real prospect of losing the leg is on the cards. We've all been there, Robert. Haven't all been there.
59.
Almost managed to
Martin, you
burgle the
require
leg.
4. Two. Robert, you require
But he's now missed
60.
as many darts at double as it took him to get there, Martin
Game
Adams.
shot on the second
And
leg.
Robert Thornton
Robert
is a
Thornton.
grateful recipient of that gift. Unlucky for some.
Third leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on.
That was the opportunity as well to get that breaker throw back. There may not be too many more because Robert Thornton's got stronger as the legs have gone on. I've not been dodging your question as well,
80.
Murph. I've just been pondering it and giving it a lot of thought. And I think there's a player there next week who's
100.
due a bit of form, due a bit of a surgence. And I think coming up to the back end of the year, as we get closer to Q school time, I think could start ramping it up. But I'm going to
24.
have a look at John O'Shea.
Well, the biggest shock of the night. We agree on that. I would be
42.
favouring the Joker myself. How annoying must this be for Martin Adams to have thrown 2 maximums but missed 13 darts at double and find himself 2-0 behind?
96.
But remember what I said at the start of the night about Martin Adams, and with the issues he now faces, it's not going to be when he's throwing into one concentrated area like that. It's going to be when he's moving around the board.
120.
We've seen it on the singles when he's had to set up shots, and we've seen it occasionally on the doubles.
And what is even more interesting with
99.
Adams is that he's historically
Martin require 94.
notoriously a player who refuses to move around the board too much, so he won't get many reps in for doing that during a match.
$36. Robert, you require 164.
Well, this would really hurt. Not going to happen. But Thornton will have a feeling that he might come back,
60.
having seen what's
Martin, you
unfolded
require
before.
58.
Felt he was going to miss that the second he
Robert,
shook
you
his head after the
require
first start
104.
at double.
Just that height, isn't he? Struggling to get the height, and you see him there at the back just flexing his shoulder.
46. Martin, you require 5.
No problem there. Smack bang in the middle of the big one.
Game shot on the third
And
leg.
finally, gets a
Martin
double
Adams.
at the 16th time of asking.
Yeah, I didn't really get the shot from Thornton there.
Fourth leg, it's Robert.
104 went for the 18.
Game.
Left 86. Felt he blocked the treble, so went away to the bull when he could have just gone for a treble 20 to leave a different double.
Treble 20, double 18. There was bigger options than that small target. I think what the most impressive thing for me regarding Martin Adams at the moment
121.
is the fact he's actually averaging 78. That's despite the fact of the 15 missed darts at a double. It's a whole leg of darts at the double for Adams, 16 in total. There's that Spider-Man.
$41.
Did you ever think you'd be sat with a pundit referencing Spider-Man and it actually be relevant to the throw?
98. $140. Robbie, you record 164.
Strong enough scoring, but you can't do a thing to stop Thornton here. Fancied it.
67. $85. Robert, you require 97. Game shot.
On that occasion, Robert Thornton does go double-double. He's worried about upsetting Martin Adams there, but that was a really nice finish from the Thorn. Has had these moments tonight, hasn't he? Tidy legs, good checkouts, but it's been very much in and out from Thornton tonight.
140.
It doesn't have to be in for much longer.
100.
And he will be holding a position in the qualifying place as the top 3.
Yeah, 4 points for Justin Smith tonight. This will take Thornton to 4. Smith in action next against Mike Warburton, who hasn't got any yet.
55.
Could already be a big game for Warburton.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd say desperate times. You can mathematically not win a game on the first day and still qualify, but the players do follow
60.
the live in-play tables, and you play it like the table suggests, rather than just having a target of points.
Yeah, and if he does end up on no points tonight, he's kind of hoping that Martin Adams and Tommy Morris don't add too many more. He plays one of them, so that would be a minimum of a 4-point gap from bottom to third. That's the place you're aiming for. As long as you're in the top 3, you are through
95.
when it comes to Group B.
$97. Martin, you require 151. $43. Robert, you require 150.
Superb stuff from Thornton. Almost won it in style.
Martin, you require 108.
You can see he thought he was going to go. Treble does leave the shot alive. Now Thornton. Chance.
48.
To get his second win of the day.
30.
Well, it's been a dominant one, this. Martin Adams has had too much double trouble in the game. He's missed 15 darts. Robert Thornton misses double 15, although I'm not sure he did miss it.
Martin, you require 60.
With that final dart that came very close to penetrating that target, but ended up on the floor. Again, the shake of the head before he even throws the last dart at double. And again, it's pretty much a mirror image of what happened last time he did that.
Robert, you require 30.
And Thornton, this time, finds that double 15 to put Adams away. Good bit of sportsmanship between the pair at the end. A pat on the back from Thornton. Adams really did suffer without a ring sting in that game. 1 out of 18 for WOLFIE in that one. Just could not manage to close a leg out, and Robert Thornton closed the match out instead. 4-1 takes him joint top of the table with Justin Smith, who's back in action next against the man at the foot of the field in Mike Warburton.
Next year, when that decision needs to be made, he's going to be 49. 1 year shy of the age of the seniors.
A very viable option. 2 players who are around that age. Well, what did he say about the 9?
Will we get the 1-4-1? Will the promise come true? Double 12.
Shot and the match.
Steve West has won the match with a 9-dart.
Harrison has kicked off the last leg in perfect style.
It's everything, really. Oh, he's timing this well again.
180.
With a 9-darter, treble 19. Treble 15 leaves double 18. Franchise Harrison to win the game in perfect style.
Hauled himself out of it.
Yeah, it was something that Henry actually said in jest that I was quoted as saying Jared Cole is one of the most, sounds a bit fishy. Glenn, do you know my grandpa Mark Salmon?
Do you? On a 177 and a 180. He's on a potential 9-darter.
Come on, Jared. Yes, you beauty! Nice and high, and has now got the game back into his
100
own destination, and wow, the momentum is with him. Here we go.
108.
I wouldn't have said it. Don't jinx it. Yes. Yes! Double 12! Yes! Get in there, Lee Cock!
Well, I think it's fair to say that the blue touch paper has been well and truly lit.
108.
6th max of the match. Oh, hang about. Hang about. It's getting ridiculous now. Can Tommy Leishman give us back-to-back 9-darters in back-to-back games? He could, you know. He could, you know. Goodness gracious me!
Tommy Leishman.
Back-to-back 9-darters!
Here at the Modus Super Series in the early knockings of Friday morning, we have an all-Welsh encounter, and one that we've been witnessing all week, or those of you who have been tuning in to every session would have seen this 3 times already. Justin Smith at the moment has the better of Mike Warburton in this league table, as he did in the Group A table. 2nd in Group A against 3rd. Smith with 2 wins tonight, Warburton with 2 defeats. And we were discussing it, myself and Matt Edgar, at the end of the previous game. Warby might find himself sinking in the quicksand if he loses this one.
First leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
He's got to tighten up that treble hitting here, Mike Warburton. The issue, clear as day, it's just been too many of those trebleless visits, too many 60s. And the way Justin Smith played in the last game, I feel he's going to have to hit quite a few more. However, we saw Justin Smith put in a very big performance earlier on in the week in Group A, and then wasn't able to get anywhere near replicating.
140.
And just on that point about trebles for Mike Warburton, well, he hit a 180 with his very first visit of the night.
100.
Hasn't hit one since.
$60. $58. $60. $140. Mike, you require 141. $109. Justin, you require 120.
Tidies it up nicely. But that a little bit awkward, the angle of entry there. Justin Smith have to be right across to the left-hand side, but finds a way round. Mike Warburton will feel like he can't catch a break tonight.
Second leg, it's Justin to throw first.
Justin Smith seems to have an excellent talent for making difficult shots look easy. We saw a severely blocked double 16 in his previous match. We've seen all sorts of occasions where he's managed to find a treble 20 that looks blocked. And there, kind of had 2 darts that were blocking his path to the next target and managed to navigate both.
100.
Yeah, he had to reposition himself on the hockey there to get that angle.
96.
Delivered the dart well.
$60.
Haven't got the stats, but I would quite confidently wager that Mike Warburton's hit more scores of 60 than anybody else this week.
82.
The line is so often perfect. The weight, though, can be variable.
100. $60. $140. Justin, you require 129.
19s is the starting point for this one. Treble 16. Double 12.
105. Mike, you require 101.
It's getting to the point where you almost feel surprised when Justin Smith misses.
Warburton may feel he needs to hit because he's going to expect Smith to. If he doesn't, and he hasn't, there's the wince. Doesn't want to look at what's about to happen.
Game
He
shot
knew.
the second leg.
We knew.
Justin Smith.
And in the end, the outcome is as expected. A 2-0 lead.
Third leg,
Justin
it's Mike
Smith,
to throw first. Game on.
You have to be impressed by, because the way that he lost Group A could have been really hard to recover from.
60.
That 1-4-1 from Andreas Harrison, still the shot of the week. Got him back to a last leg decider, which he won. Just knocked the
60.
stuffing out of Smith with that. Took the group in what was a straight shootout to win it, and he's got his feet up now. Having a nice cup of Darjeeling, stroking his beard, and watching the Super
96.
Series.
$40. $100.
Well, I asked you who you think's going to win next week. Are you still in the
140.
Harrison camp for this week? I know he's already there. He's the only one that is, so it's a safe bet. But is there anybody you think will really threaten him should they make it through?
I was really impressed with Ryan this afternoon. I think he could be a danger here on debut. The 16-year-old really did show levels and gears. We're seeing good performances tonight from Justin Smith, Robert Thornton, showing a more dogged fight rather than rolling over. So, yeah, there's plenty
60.
of contenders
Justin, you require 121.
to dethrone Andreas Harrison.
And maybe
58.
Mike Warburton
Mike
can still be
require
one of them, but he's going to have
84.
to get his skates on here. Treble 15 would leave him on tops.
Game
That's
shot
nicely
on the
done.
third leg.
And that will just give
Mike
him a much
Warburton.
better feeling.
Fourth leg, it's Justin to throw first. Game on.
I'm not sure what was going on there.
There's normally two confusions over in that area. It's either
140.
which glass of water's mine or who throws first. But it seemed like it was a conversation that wasn't had with words. I didn't see any
60.
mouths moving at any point. It was just sort of all done with eye contact.
60.
They managed to confuse the referee Owen Binks, then again. Not difficult.
140.
Never any confusion with the numbers, though.
100. $60. 100. $140. Justin, you require 101.
$32 to deny Warburton a shot at the same finish.
69. Mike, you require 101. $41. Justin, you require 32. Game shot on the fourth flag.
Just seemed to be in
Justin
control, hasn't he, all evening? Justin Smith.
Fifth leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
And if it stays like that, he'll be pretty much through come the end of tonight.
100. $125. 59.
Perfect first dart, perfect second.
140.
Could not quite follow with the third, but Warburton can't leave a finish here.
I feel like I'm getting on a bit of a crusade here with this. One treble, you can't use the 19s. But hopefully there'll be people watching and they'll
60.
see the understanding, and it'll be something that cottons on through the game. It is only a situation that comes up if you get that one treble.
100. 100.
This one doesn't feel like it's got long left. Justin Smith, again, just feels a visit ahead of his opponent.
60. Justin, you require 76.
And this, to defeat another opponent, he's going to stay there to get a go at his beloved double 18.
58. Mike, you require 122.
For him this time. Treble required here, though. And it would have only been a dart of the ball.
54. Justin, you require 18.
May split it. Chooses to do so. And it's another
shot and
convincing
match.
win
Justin Smith
for the bearded dragon in the all-Welsh affair. It's Smith who sees off Warby. A little glance over the shoulder there from Warburton. It's not been his night. No points from 3 matches, whereas Justin Smith has had the opposite experience, winning all of his games to take his points tally to 6, and he's one away from the perfect evening in Group B. Coming next, Robert Thornton faces Tommy Morris. Welcome back. 3 games to go tonight in Group B. A group that's led by Justin Smith with 3 wins, followed by Robert Thornton with 2, and then Tommy Morris has 1, as does Martin Adams, who's going to play Smith in their final match. This is the final match of the evening for Robert Thornton, but Tommy has 2 to go. All smiles for the Scot right now. And for the pair of them. But who will be grinning come the end of the game? I think both players have shown spells this evening.
First leg, it's Robert to throw first.
I think that the difference is something that we talk about a lot in darts has been timing, and Roberts has just been that little bit better than Tommy Morris, who left it too late against Justin Smith in his last game.
140.
I think that's the fairest assessment there. They've both played patches. They've both shown moments. Robert Thornton just winning the bigger ones. But now he's got that. Now he's got that confidence. The points on the board. Do we see him now just step it up another level?
60. $100. $41. $140.
Well, Thornton's throwing everything at Morris in the opening leg. Second 140 of it. Leaves 41 after a dozen. And we know which way it'll go. Anything for tops.
Game shot in the first leg. Robert Thornton.
Well, that one of the more solid, consistent legs that we've seen tonight from Robert Thornton. Could be the moment he starts to go through the gears.
96.
Beautifully sat in the top of the treble there as well. Be expecting more.
100.
And that's why you get that wince, that grimace.
Noticed as well that he's wearing a bracelet on the throwing arm. Ever since you said it's quite rare to see someone wear something on the throwing arm, they're all at it.
140.
Tommy Morris with a sweatband as well, so it doesn't seem so rare today, does it? Maybe it's just today.
45. $140.
Leaves the 1-2-1 to double his lead.
Robert, you require 121.
And with Morris not on any kind of finish, he starts on the
65.
central segment.
$85. Robert, you require 56. Game shot on the second leg. Robert Thornton.
Minimum fuss here. Robert Thornton, textbook, back-to-back 15 darters. And a breaker throw to boot.
137. $59.
It's really good stuff, this, from Thornton, isn't it? Really purposeful performance.
180.
First max of the match goes the way of the Thorn. A nice shiny showing from the Scotsman.
96. $121. Robert, you require 88.
This is brilliant. Absolutely
Game
superb.
on the third leg.
Numbers are going
Robert Thornton.
through the roof. We saw that lucky charm where he
Fourth
wears
leg,
around
it's
his
Tommy
neck
to
there
throw first.
from Robert Thornton.
Game.
A little dart, as you can see, dangling down from a necklace. He's a superstitious type. Used to bring a teddy on the stage with him as well.
40.
Top pocket that was put in, and then it used to sit on the table. But it's certainly doing the trick here, and he's doing the trick.
95.
Yeah, it felt like that little fist bump there from Tommy Morris was almost conceding, almost saying, well, you got the measure of me, pal.
95.
There's not much I can do against this.
15, 15, 11. The darts to win the legs for Robert Thornton, who is now averaging
139.
over 110.
Performance of the week so far.
45.
There doesn't seem to be any signs of it stopping here for Robert Thornton.
$57.
Absolutely wonderful stuff. You expect him to be out in 5 visits again here.
60.
One of the things that Matt said when we chatted in the studio was
60.
that somebody just needed to gel it all together. Well, Thornton's certainly done it in this match.
85. Robert, you require 150. $56.
Well, no treble in the last 9. He'd have been expecting to be a lot closer than 94.
55. Robert, you require
Might
94.
not matter too much. Tommy Morris still unable to land any sort of blow.
It was in that double 18, and everything else
Robert
before it seemed to be in
Thornton.
as well. For Robert Thornton. And he's averaged well into 3 figures in a whitewash win over Tommy Morris. What a way to end the evening. The 4-0 victory that takes Thornton to the top of the table. There you see the numbers, just under 102. 4 out of 6 on the doubles here. A couple of doubles in that 94 combo to win the final leg, and Tommy Morris just could not land a glove on Thornton in that one. He ends his evening with 3 wins from 4. Justin Smith has 3 wins from 3, and he will end his night after the break against Wolfie. Martin Adams.
Hang on a minute.
Wow! Oh my God! Well, that's 100 quid down the drain already.
Itching to hit the 180.
He's gone for the maximum.
Team for the ball. Ball.
53.
No, he said bull. That's a great first out from Adam. Oh, look at this. He's going to leave Skate. Oh, can you believe it? That is unbelievable.
Get match darts to put his team into the final. And through to the final they go. Charlie Murphy has hit the match-winning dart on both occasions. Double 4 for the title.
Please show your appreciation for the winner of the Influencer Pairs event, George Scaife and Adam Lipscomb.
He seems to be out. That's what he is. Charlie Murphy. A couple more visits yet. We're not going to need that.
Bosh.
Pie Face is through.
And he's absolutely buzzing.
It was a game that Five-Face dominated throughout.
So 2 games to go then, and now it's time to see whether that man, Justin Smith, can complete a perfect night. Well, what's he done there? Has he chucked one of his practice darts at the referee? Well, that was an interesting ploy. Always get the officials on side, but everything has gone his way so far tonight. Justin Smith winning 3 out of 3 matches. Martin Adams won his opening match of the night, but has lost the 2 since. So everything is pointing towards a Justin Smith victory here.
Yeah, he's been very, very good tonight, hasn't he, Justin Smith? Looking very polished. Probably the most assured player of what we've seen so far. Martin Adams.
First leg, it's Justin to throw first.
Inconsistent, shall we say.
Game on.
Odds compilers very, very much in the favour here of Justin Smith. Trading around about the 1 to 3 mark.
Yeah, they made him the favourite before the night, didn't they? Martin Adams is just saying, hey, you, don't forget about me.
140.
If Smith can
59.
win this game, it plays right into the hands of Mike Warburton, who could actually find himself in 3rd place come the end of the evening, remarkably. Should he get the better of Tommy Morris, he could get himself to 2 points,
140.
have a better leg difference than both Morris and Adams, and from nowhere would be occupying a provisional qualification spot, despite, at this point, having no wins.
140.
Warburton's actually won as many legs as Martin Adams tonight. He has 2 points. Tommy Morris has won fewer legs than Mike Warburton and has 2 points.
Martin, you require 100.
Suppose that all comes down to what we're talking about, doesn't it? Gelling it all together.
44. Justin, you require 119. $59. Martin, you require 56. $36.
This has been
Justin, you
the
require
huge
60.
problem for Martin Adams tonight. Doubles have been so rare.
40.
Continues the conversation with
Martin, you
himself.
require 20.
Has the team talk worked for Wolfie?
Well, he's been struggling here, hitting the 15 throughout the evening when he's been going for the double 10.
He's all about precision, isn't he?
15.
Not one of those rhythmic players like Smith.
Justin, you require 20.
Looking for the target that Adams couldn't find, and he does
Game
get
on
it.
the first leg.
Take the opening
Justin
leg.
Smith. Second leg, it's Martin to throw first. Game on. 100.
There's been a bit of reaction on social media to next
140.
week's player lineup, and it's come from a Modus Super Series super fan who happens to be playing next week, Adam Paxton. Looking forward to playing in this next week. Very grateful for inviting me
100.
back for a chance to play in Group A. Hopefully I can show some more of what I'm capable of and get the job done again. Confident talk
60.
from Adam Paxton.
Confident guy as well, isn't he, when he gets going? Got that little bit of swagger on the stage.
140. 180. Martin, you have 161.
Well, the way it's gone tonight, you wouldn't expect Adams to take this out. And he won't.
74. Justin, you require 121. $57. Martin, you require 87.
Again, decent leg of darts in the scoring phase, but the
69.
doubling lets him down.
Justin, you require 64.
0 from 7. Martin Adams.
Game shot in the second leg.
You're not going to get away with
Justin
those sort of
Smith.
opportunities against a player like Justin Smith in the form that he is in.
Third leg, it's Justin to
1
throw
from
first.
18
Game.
in the last game, Martin Adams. 1 from 7 in game number 2.
Spoke about the ailments and the struggles of age, didn't he, in his interview that opened the evening. And it has looked like an evening of discomfort for Wolfie. As for Justin Smith, quite the opposite. He has looked as comfortable as a parrot in a hammock.
97.
They say not much between them in terms of the stats, and it just proves that point that Adams has been fine in the scoring, has a bit when he's got to the end of the legs, as you've been saying, Matt. He struggled to convert them to the scoreboard.
Yeah, scoring phase certainly strong here for Martin Adams. 4 scores of a ton or more and
Justin,
4 140s.
64.
The ball,
131.
even though it
If you
hasn't
look
gone, he's taken a
156.
huge chunk out of that score and left Adams in need of taking this.
$60. Justin, you require 33. Game shot in the third leg. Justin Smith.
Again, he found a way past a difficult dart there. We've seen plenty
Fourth
of
leg,
that
it's Martin
tonight,
to
plenty of
throw
that this
first.
week. And
Game.
what a night it's been for Justin Smith. On the brink now of a perfect night.
$60. 120.
And the style of which it's happened for Justin Smith. He was in a close battle in his opening game against Robert Thornton, but then 4-1 against Tommy Morris and 4-1 against Mike Warburton. He might be going one better.
$100.
There it is in all its glory. Martin Adams would not like a repeat of this evening.
$85.
They'll do it all again Friday night from 10. Before that, of course, the conclusion of Group C gets underway from 1 p.m. UK time, live on the Modus Super Series YouTube channel. Ryan Branley leading the way, the 16-year-old who produced some stunning showings on Thursday afternoon. He's level at the top of the table with Ross Montgomery, the 61-year-old. Darts is a game for any age. And here at the Modus Super Series, a game for any time.
100.
But Martin Adams' time tonight may have just run out.
$140. Justin, you require 84.
For double 12.
Game.
Wonderful.
Shot and the match.
Perfect.
Justin Smith.
4 straight legs to win that one. 4 straight wins to top the table in Group B. The perfect start to his campaign. Bouncing back from the disappointment of missing out on winning Group A, Justin Smith is on course to win Group B. Didn't go Wolfie's way tonight. He did get 1 win. That came in his first match against Mike Warburton, but he ends it with a whitewash defeat. Smith taking that one 4-0 and topping the table with 4 wins from 4. Mike Warburton, well, he's lost all of his games this evening, hoping to turn it around. And if he does turn it around against Tommy Morris, he could actually find himself in 3rd place. Stay tuned for that. It's coming next. And so the final fixture of the evening's a big one, really, for the pair of players on the stage, because a win for Tommy Morris would see him put a 4-point gap between himself and Mike Warburton. Difficult to bridge in just 4 fixtures tomorrow. But if Warby wins, well, he, after a fruitless night so far, would actually find himself in 3rd place, a provisional qualifying spot. And it just goes to show how one
First
win
leg, it's Tommy
can
to
turn
throw
things
first.
around.
Game on.
I think the only danger I see at the moment for Warburton
48.
is the fact he's against the darts, and what we're seeing tonight is a few too many trebleless visits, and he's going to have to smarten those up if he's to get the breaker throw. However, to offer encouragement to those supporting
60.
Mike Warburton, Tommy Morris didn't exactly light the world up in the last game. No 140s, no 180s, no darts at a double.
58. $100.
Okay, a little bit bothered, Tommy Morris, wondering where it's
17.
gone. Won his first match well, 4-1 against Martin Adams, although to the tail end of the game he did start to taper off. Then he started slowly against Justin Smith, but in the back end of that one he started to come good again. And then, as Matt mentioned, really
100.
nothing happened for Morris against Thornton.
When you're a rhythm player, you
140.
feel like you've lost the feel, the weight of it, so you're always looking for something, and before you know it, you start moving your grip up and down the barrel. You're not quite sure how to hold it.
140. $85. Mike, you require 101. $69. Tommy, you require 153. $59. Mike, you require 32.
He would have thought that was in when it left
Game shot in the first
his hand,
leg.
but he
Mike Warburton.
uses it to his aid and breaks throw in the first leg.
Second leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on.
Although I'm not sure he knew that he'd broken throat.
You do sometimes lose track of a game when it gets into the middle of it, but not often after the opening leg.
100.
This will be, of course, the first fixture in Friday night's play, so Warburton has a chance to totally turn the tables on Tommy.
100.
A promising start for Morris could be looking like a big task. Having played in 2 of the last 3 games tonight, he's going to play in 2 of the first 3 games tomorrow.
$131. $60. $92.
If you haven't been watching all day, the highlight of the day has been the emergence of a 16-year-old talent, Ryan Branley, who produced some wonderful stuff, including an average just shy of 105 in one
83.
match this afternoon. That game in full here on the YouTube channel for you to enjoy between now and our next broadcast, which will be
138.
1 p.m. UK time on Friday when you can see young Ryan live.
$180. Tommy required 40.
Well, that can't be described as too little, but it could be described as too late.
Game shot on the second
And
leg.
it is so cold
Tommy Morris.
as Morris levels the match.
Third leg, it's Tommy to throw first.
I mean, when you look at what Tommy Morris has managed
Game
to
on.
carve out over the last couple of games, match number 2 he had 1 dart at a double. Yes, he hit it. Match number 3 he had no darts at a double, so
96.
he's been pretty well beaten over his last 2 games. So to respond like that with a 14 darter is a good sign of character. Maybe he's aware of the league table situation
60.
here, that he could open up a bit of a gap between himself and Mike Warburton with a win here.
Yeah, this match will define the evening for both players.
59.
As I was saying, 2 live broadcasts to bring you tomorrow. Of course, plenty of excellent content away from the live action on the Super Series YouTube channel. The best thing for you to do to catch all of that is hit that
60.
subscribe button. There is loads of
85.
wonderful stuff on there. Matthew Edgar features in some of it. And it's not just the guys that play here at the Super Series. There's been some really good content shot with the likes of, well, the man at the top
60.
of World Darts at the moment, Luke Humphreys, Damon Heta, part of the On the Hockey series. Something for every darts fan.
100.
We've even got Angry Ginge.
$140. Tommy require 161. $65.
We may have Angry Warbeat if he's unable to register a win tonight. Would really limit his chances going into Friday's play.
140. Tommy require 96.
He really has
Game
suddenly
shot on the third leg. Tommy
found
Morris.
that fire again, Tommy Morris.
Fourth leg, it's Mike to throw first. Game on. $140. $100.
If he does win this
60.
game, we'll have one of those uniform league tables with the leader on 8, then 6, 4, 2, 0.
$57. $60. $100. $100.
Another minor subplot to this game is that if Mike Warburton wins it, it'll mean everybody in the group has points,
140.
which will in turn mean that Justin Smith
Mike, you require
will only need to win
141.
his first match tomorrow to guarantee qualification to finals night. I think we probably feel that he's done the job
100.
already,
Tommy,
but it's
require
very rare that a player
104.
themselves will admit that.
They probably all remember the Scott Walters effect, don't they? A man who won all his games in a Group C
41.
campaign, then didn't make Saturday
Michael
night.
Maguire, 41.
Well, we can add another Scott to that now, can't we? Happened to Mr. Mitchell just a couple of weeks ago.
Game shot on the 4th leg. Mike Warburton.
Mike Warburton trying to avoid losing all his games tonight.
5th leg, it's Tommy to throw first.
Still
Game on.
have to find a break of throat.
See, I was involved in a Group B that went the opposite way to the story I was just telling from the
100.
Group C. David Pallett was bottom of the table, didn't win any games on the opening day, and then qualified for the Saturday night.
45.
Well, that's the contrast in the groups, isn't it? You look at the player at the bottom of Group C, Dennis van der Ende, you know he's not going through.
123.
And you look at the two at the top with 8 points, and there's no guarantee that either go through. So Group C, you always feel that nobody's safely through after day one, but somebody's definitely out. And in Group B, you can pretty much put yourself through, but you can't go out. If Warburton turns up tomorrow, wins all his games, he'll go through.
134.
All the different dynamics of the groups.
Then it gets even more dangerous for the
100.
finals night.
So
We
we
have
have a
two groups there, and if they all have the same results, then we get a 9-dart shootout.
Very, very rare feat here, isn't it, at the Super Series, a 9-dart shootout, but always a possibility.
You need each of the three players in any group to win a match by the same scoreline as all the others.
Tommy requires 64. $32.
No damage done. Morris will return. Really has upped it from his last game. Moving towards the 90 mark in terms of the average.
32.
Or was.
No score.
Now there's a real opening for Warburton.
96.
Those sort of shots, a lot lies on dart one. It's gone perfect for
Game shot on the
Warburton, and a
5th leg.
big
Mike
hit and a
Warburton.
big break of throat. Could really play himself
6th leg,
into
it's
contention
Mike to
here.
throw first.
A night that hasn't gone his way.
Game on.
It could end in P3.
So he has the darts to get a win.
100.
In his previous games, he's lost 4-2, 4-3, and 4-1.
100. $60. $100. $60. $100.
Won't go down without a fight, Tommy Morris.
60. $85.
Warburton just trying to gain control of the pace.
$45. Tommy require
Looking likely though
160.
now that Morris is going to wrestle back control.
96.
He'll get another go.
$100. Tommy, you require 20. Game shot on the 6th flag. Tommy Morris.
Breaks back. Big, big leg this. The difference.
7th and final leg. It's Tommy
It's
to
quite
throw
incredible,
first.
really.
Game on.
Tommy Morris wins it. There are 4 points between this pair. He'll be in 3rd. Warburton will be in 5th.
91.
And that's a big gap to try and get rid of in one night's darts tomorrow. If Warby wins, he'll be in 3rd. And in a provisional qualifying place going into the second half of this group.
$140.
Both players are bringing it.
$100.
Not much between them. Half a dozen darts thrown each. A straight ton for Ivor would leave the finish, but Tommy Morris has got bigger ideas.
121.
Last dart lets him down.
$60. Tommy, you require 149.
But now the pressure is relieved.
$125. $100. Tommy, you require 24.
And that was a tie that saw Tommy take control of his own darting destiny in Group B. He puts a 4-point buffer between himself and Mike Warburton, who will have all sorts of work to do when it comes to tomorrow night. But the gun was on fire in that all-important closing leg. Decent darting duel to end the evening. A 4-3 win for Tommy Morris that condemns Mike Warburton to a pointless night. 4 defeats from 4 for him. Morris wins half of his matches and sits halfway down the table, which myself and Matthew Edgar will reflect on after this. So 10 ties completed this evening, and Justin Smith won all of his fantastic start for the Welshman. Matt, what we've seen this evening, 2 players really stood out, but in truth, Justin Smith was a cut above the rest, wasn't he?
He really was. He was fantastic all night tonight. The scoring, the finishing, I don't think there was a single weakness in his game. Everything, the all-round performance was good. My concern now comes to Justin Smith tomorrow. Because one thing I've been quite critical of Justin Smith about is when there's been an element of comfort, He's lived in that comfort, and the performance has dropped. He needs to keep that intensity that he had tonight, or it could start unravelling a bit for him tomorrow. And if he does bring what he brought it to tonight, he's going to cause some fear in the hearts of the other players, because he was very, very good tonight.
He certainly was. He won all of his matches, as you can see there. Robert Thornton, after defeating his first game, went on to win 3. Martin Adams, quite the contrast, won his first game, then lost the next 3. And in the end, we've just seen it, Tommy Morris getting what is probably a huge win against Mike Warburton for both players.
Yeah, Warburton's in big trouble now, isn't he? Bottom of the table, lost all his games. He's got to be clean tomorrow and go through the card. And when you've got Justin Smith playing as well as he was, Robert Thornton playing as well, Tommy Morris able to have that explosive nature at times, I think he's going to be up against it tomorrow night. But still, got a bit of a hope, and that's all you want really, a bit of a chance. He probably would have wanted at least a win on the board, though, just to make things a little bit more realistic.
Robert Thornton's got a very good chance. What was key for him in putting himself in that strong position?
Composure. Fight. You know, we haven't seen that from Robert Thornton for a while. I've watched Robert Thornton a lot recently, and the second it starts going, I used the word imploding earlier on, and I think that's probably the best way to describe him, because he gets on his back so quick. Not tonight. Just when you think it's going to start turning, you think he's going to lose his head in a minute, he then gets back on it again and starts playing well and starts that refocus. I think it's been a real key attribute there for Thornton, and he can probably watch this back and learn a lot tonight about that sort of mental state and how it can produce more positive results.
Yeah, the table is looking good for Thornton going into the second night in Group B. Even better for Justin Smith, who you probably think is already there, if not mathematically. Do you think that the top 3 will remain the top 3?
I can't see it not, to be honest. Martin Adams did exactly what I expected him to do tonight. Start well and then struggle as the night went on. Not so much in the scoring stakes, but moving around the board, struggling for height. We certainly saw that when he was going for the double 10 and kept slipping into the 15. Then you start worrying he's never going to hit those high doubles, the tops, the 5s. So 10 was going to be his only friend tonight, and it really let him down in that department. Started missing the single numbers. Age is a factor, and it catches up with everybody, and it's getting to that point now for Martin Adams where he is just starting to lose that little bit of movement around the board.
But perhaps a real story today came this afternoon, and it's a story that we've heard before here at the Super Series. A 16-year-old stealing the headlines, Ryan Branley, on his debut, producing some fantastic performances, none more so than this one when he averaged almost 105.
Very unassuming as well, isn't he? Yes, we've heard that story before. We have to think about what happened when we had a 16-year-old here, Luke Littler, but it was a different character, completely different character. Luke came here, he was brash, he was confident, he thought he was going to win. Ryan's come here and he's like, well, if I win some games, I'd be happy with that. I want to go to Q School and reach phase 2. He's not looking in his mind to conquer the world, but some of the darts he's shown, he's certainly going down that same path.
Yeah, it's whet the appetite for tomorrow. We'll see you then. It's certainly worth tuning in for if you want to get a glimpse at this prodigious talent, the 16-year-old Ryan Branley, back in action at the Super Series from 1 p.m. UK time tomorrow. We'll see you then.